Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we like to begin this lesson by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Ruach Kodash. Giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, surely do rule well. As always, we like to say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Right, a couple of brothers here gathered together from the Heralds of YAHAWASHI camp to do a week in, week out street preaching, right, by the highways and byways. Again, we're gonna start where we left off. So if our brother can get the book of Psalm 73 by Bokasha. Right, again, as said before, as stated in the last lesson, let's going into the banking families, right? The wicked who currently run the earth today. As again, Apostle Gabar says, if you're going into Esau and Edom, when you start with that breakdown, before you go into the fate of Esau and Edom, before you go into any topic that you could hit with Esau and Edom, you must first hit these banking families. Because yes, the whole nation of Esau and Edom by and large is the wicked in the earth today. But who is the ones that running the whole corporation? Right? But I could start from verse 1. The book of Psalms, hold on, Salakia. Right? If I could pull it to me, like I'll be heading over the pages here again. Right? Just before I read, the Psalm 73, the heading here, prosperity of the wicked, a psalm of Asaph. Right? Again, if you watch the lesson we did yesterday, we'd have went into who Asaph is. Right? So you can go ahead.
Is the end of the wicked contrasted with that of the righteous.
Right, yeah. If you can repeat that, Salakia.
The end of the wicked contrasted with that of the righteous.
Right, the end, the lot, the final portion of the wicked in this life as contrasted with the portion of the righteous. Right? How is this all going to play out in the end? Where's the portion in this life? Right? You could go ahead. A perfect example for this you could watch as well, to contrast both the end of the wicked and the righteous. Think about the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Right? Rich man fared sumptuously every day. Right? And when he came unto Abraham after he had lost everything, because now Lazarus get through. Trying to remember. Yeah, if you can bring it from her. Because he made mention of there's a great gulf fix. Yeah, if you can get our Bible, Kasha.
It's Luke chapter 16, reading verse 25.
Yeah.
And it reads, but Abraham said, son.
Abraham, right? Because again, Abraham is the grandfather, the great grandfather of the wicked. So that's
take the thing and bring it to me.
So, yeah. Yeah. The great grandfather of the wicked, right? Because again, who we know the wicked to be? Esau and Edom, Malachi 1 verses 3 to 4, right? So, Abraham telling the wicked here where it is going to be the end, right? Go ahead.
It says, but Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime,
which thy lifetime, speaking of Psalm 73 here, we're going to go into it, right?
receivest thy good things,
right?
And likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Right. Like two contrasts, right? Somebody in comfort and now somebody dwelling in torments, right? Go ahead.
Right. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed.
Right.
Just going into the word gulf there. Right. G 5490, Kamas, a gap opening, so a gaping opening, a chasm, chasm, a gulf, it says, from a form of an obsolete primary, kao, to gape or yawn, right? Or chasm, a vacancy. impassable interval.
Right, impassable interval. So you can't come to we, and we can't go over to you, right? Every man had a lot and portion, and in this life we can't come to you. You all are the nobility in the earth today. You all are the rich men, right? Well,
And so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot,
right,
neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
right. Again, Esau and Jacob, the body rich elite are Esau versus the nobility of Jacob, right? The elect, right? So go ahead. Which again, perfect example how they are contrasted, right? When you look at it, I believe there is it Zephaniah or Zechariah I will leave in the midst of thee, right? A poor and afflicted people that they may know to call and trust in the name of Yahweh, right? The nobility of the nation of Jacob today, by and large, we're not saying every single man, but the large majority of us are the poor people in the earth today, right? So again, you're seeing the end of the wicked, it's contrasted with the end of the righteous, right? So go ahead, you can go back to Psalm 73, somebody give me from verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 1. Truly power is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart.
Right, the elect.
But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped.
Right, so you had the soul moment, right? Spirit almost leaving, almost follow the truth, right? Why? Because he saw the state that the wicked were in the earth today. Again, you could always liken this unto Ezra. When Ezra was making the lamentations and the moanings and the groanings in this life, right? He said, if the world be made for our sakes, why do we not yet possess an inheritance with it? And then the angel would have made the exclamation to Ezra, thinkest thou to comprehend the ways of the Most High? Right? Your heart had gone too far in this world, which is what Asaph experiencing this right now. He had gone too far, he thinking too deep on it, right? He pondering on it too much, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3, for I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
Again, Proverbs 3:31, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, right? Right. And again, the banking families in the earth today are the ones who oppress the earth. Isaiah chapter 14. So I'll get that real quick. If somebody can bring it to me. Isaiah 14, around verses 20. Is this he who has made the world as a wilderness?
Isaiah 14 and verse. Right. Isaiah 14 from verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee,
right,
and consider thee,
right,
saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and did shake kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof,
right,
that opened not the house of all his prisoners?
Exactly, the great oppressor in the earth today, right? The chief, the heads of the nation of Esau and Edom. Right, go ahead.
Psalm 73 and verse 4.
Right.
For there are no bonds in their death, but their strength is firm.
There are no bonds in their death. They don't die weak, right? They don't die wanting or lacking anything in this life, right? The best of everything you could get in this world, they have, and we're gonna see why, right? And their strength is firm. They live in long, prosperous lives, right? Because again, we know our long life is a gift from the Most High, right? Again, when the Most High used to tell the nation of Israel and constantly exhort to the nation of Israel through the mouth of Moses in the first 5 books in the Bible, the law, he said, what if you do these things, your life shall be long in the land that I give to thee, right? So a long life is a gift from the Most High. A full life is a gift from the Most High. You see, many men of the Lord live in full lives, right? Tobit, it was Tobit or Tobias is the father, right? And even Tobias, and he lived 103 something, I think it was 20, right? Yeah, we saw Moses, he lived till 120, I believe. Right, we saw David, he lived 70 years. We saw Solomon, I believe Solomon lived till 70 years as well. Right, so what we saw righteous men, elect men, live a full life. And these men today live in a full life. And again, you always have to watch it. The things these people do. Tobit, right, he lived till 127, so what, right? So what? The things that these men do today really worthy of death, and I swear for on that. Right? If we was to do the things that these men doing today as a nation of Israel, we'd have been put to death a long time ago by the Most High. So what? Asaph envious because he's like, how these people still alive? Right? These people supposed to be dead. Go ahead.
This one's I told it lived 150.
So what? Right. So yeah. So what?
In the book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 5, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
Right, the daily struggles that we have to go through, Deuteronomy 28, right, and thy life shall hang in the balance, right, Deuteronomy 28 from verses 64 go on to 68, they don't have to worry about those things, right, those things do not bother them. Why? Because they're prospering in this life right now they're living in a lot and a portion. Go ahead.
Verse 6, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain.
Right, the wind, there's a dub pride and there's wear pride as easy as just pouring clothes. And again, a chain, something else brandish and flashes some your people to see. They want the world to see how proud they are. Again, scriptures make mention of these people as being thou most proud. Right, go ahead.
Also, a chain is something you said deck yourself out with.
Yeah.
Deck themselves out in violence.
Yeah, wickedness and violence, right? Go ahead.
Violence covereth them as a garment.
Right.
Verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish.
Right, if somebody could give me now the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and if it could go from verses 38, because we have to understand how is this so? How is it that these people could have everything a man could ever want in this life? If somebody could read that precept in our translation, Bible Kusha. In fact, yeah, that's on, hold on. Yeah.
Read the
Yeah, go ahead.
you have the KJV first?
Yeah,
Psalms.
yeah, you know, you're reading KJV.
No, Genesis and KJV. Right?
Yeah, Genesis and KJV, the Psalms in a translation, I even on the Psalms in the NIV.
Psalm 73 and verse 7.
Right. Now again further highlighting and identifying who these people are. Great question, who could these people be? Right? Because again, if you don't know who these people are, there's one easy way to identify them. Right? To have more than the heart could wish would obviously mean that you are of the ruling class in the earth today. Again, Isaiah 13 make mention of the nobles. Right? Who are the people in the earth who've been blessed to be the nobility? Right? Again, the Shemitic bloodline. Right? A large majority of the nations that have ruled in the earth. Right? 2nd Ezra 11. Thou art the of the 4 beasts whom I gave to rule in my world. Right? Who are those people? What is that speaking about? It's speaking about the nations who were blessed to rule the earth in Daniel chapter 2 from verses 35, 37 going down, right? So again, Daniel would have detailed it, he would have seen it, or Nebuchadnezzar would have seen it in his vision through a statue, right? It had the Assyrian Babylonians, right? It had the Medo-Persian Empire, it had the Greeks, it had the Romans, which the Greeks, Romans, Edomites, right? So again, there were certain nations who were blessed to have power and dominion in the world today, and we're going to read about Esau's blessing now, right? Go ahead.
In Psalm 73 and verse 7 in the AMP, it says, their eye bulges from fatness.
Right.
They have more than the heart desires.
Right.
The imaginations of their mind run riot with foolishness.
Yeah, go ahead. So having more than the heart desires, more than anything you could think of and perceive in this world to want as a man, they have. Why? Because they've been blessed to have compass and dominion over the whole earth. Right, go ahead.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 58. Yeah. And he said unto his father, as thou but one blessing my father, bless me, even me also,
right.
O my father. And right. Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said,
and again, if you go into that word blessing, it goes into gift, right? Gift means something also. So if you understand who Isaac is in the spirit, Isaac is one of the best men you could ask in this life for any blessing, because he has the power to give you a lot of things from the Most High, right? If you understand who Isaac is, he is the son of the Most High. He is Yahawashi through the spirit, right? Go ahead.
Like Yahawashi say, anything you ask of me, say anything you ask of my Father in my name, that I will do for you, or give to you.
Right, so Esau asking the right man there, right? Go ahead.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, verse 39. And
Right.
Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold,
As well, you can bring it. You can bring it there after as well. Yeah. Yeah. No, so like read down till the blessing done, and then you can come there. Yeah. So like, yeah. Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Right.
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Like perfect thing we need to establish here. Again, there's Psalm 73, right? And we then it was verse 7 we just read, right? Yeah. This is book of Psalm 73 and verse 7 in the NIV Bible. From their callous hearts come iniquity, their evil imaginations have no limits. One thing I always like to bring out when breaking down the sword that Esau wields and the blessing he has with the sword is both how he attains his success in the world today and how he upholds it, right? He lives by the sword, right? There's nothing that he does not get without violent means, and there's nothing that he does not maintain in this world today without using violence. This is the bloody, deceitful, and violent man, right? Go ahead. And you're gonna see why he's so violent. If you, I believe it's verse 41. Right, the day some morning for my father. Yep. So go ahead.
And shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion.
Right. Sorry, what verse?
Verse 40.
Verse 40, right? Genesis 27:40.
That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right, so you no more serve your brother Jacob.
And Esau hated Jacob, verse 41, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Because again, Jacob got the better blessing. Jacob got what it is Esau wanted, right? Improved upon version of his blessing, right? Let thy mother's sons bow down to thee, right? Jacob was with his in the law. The Lord had created thee to be above all the nations upon the face of the earth. That was given unto Jacob, right? Because again, when you read earlier up in the story, Jacob supplanted Esau's blessing, right? Go ahead.
Even to the point when they were about to be born, or before they were born,
right?
Yeah,
angel.
Not angel, a prophet.
Well, prophet. Prophet, not angel. Sorry, prophet.
You know, prophet is an angel, but you know what we're talking about.
Right.
The prophet tell Rebecca, one nation shall be stronger than the other, and what the elder shall serve the younger. Right. So regardless, Jacob would have had to have gotten the better blessing.
Right. Because again, how could Esau get the better blessing, but Esau's lot is to be the servant of Jacob, right? To rule the earth, that means everybody is under your rulership and your dominion. They must serve you, right? So Esau was destined to serve Jacob, not the other way around, right? But again, Ecclesiastes 10:7, right? I've seen princes walking as servants on the earth. I've seen what servants upon horseback, right? So the positions for a time right now has been switched in the earth, right? Go ahead.
Verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Right.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand.
So they know Isaac was about to die, and he says, he to give up the ghost, he is in the old age.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Then slay or secretly.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Slay my brother Jacob, right? So what Esau was then determined to put his brother to death, right? Dealing with the violent man here. So if you could give me that same account.
In a few translations.
Give me the best one here. Give me the best one here.
All of the translations say the same sentiment. How they word it.
Right.
There's Genesis 27 and 38 in the AMP.
Right.
It says, Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. Then Esau, no longer able to restrain himself, raised his voice and wept loudly. Then Isaac, his father, answered and prophesied and said to him, right?
So like, where's the son you reading here?
AMP.
AMP. Ooh, that one bad.
You see, you read it nicely. It says, your dwelling shall be away from the fertility of the earth and away from the dew of heaven above. But you shall live by your sword and serve your brother. However, it shall come to pass when you break loose from your anger and hatred that you will tear his yoke from off your neck and you will be free from him. So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are very near, then I will kill my brother Jacob. I see it in the CED here as well.
Yeah, because the point out that very quick. When you say you are taking yoke from off his neck, I was talking about the rulership of David and Solomon. Exactly. He had them in straits. David had garrisons in Edom. Right? You know, Joab went on many conquests throughout Edom land and put them fellas into captivity. Right? So again, you see when Jacob on top, what is the lot and the portion of these men in this life? Right? And in any lifetime. Again, but and Jacob said to go back on top in this time, right? Daniel 2:44, in the days of these kings shall the Most High set up a kingdom, right? Which shall not be left to other people, right? Which shall never be destroyed. The kingdom shall not be left to other people, and it shall break in pieces all these kingdoms that were before it, right? So eventually, Jacob is said to go back on top. What does that mean for Esau and Edom? Well, look at the last time Jacob was on top, when David and Solomon was ruling. What went on with them? Slavery. Right, go ahead.
Genesis 27 and 37 in the CEB.
37.
27 from 37.
You can go from here. Right.
Sorry.
38. Yeah, that's it.
Genesis 27 from 38. It says, Esau said to his father, do you really have only one blessing, father? Bless me too, my father. And Esau wept loudly.
Right.
His father Isaac responded to him and said, now you will make a home far away from the olive groves of the earth, far away from the showers of the sky above.
Which I don't really like how some of them translations read them, because again, Esau is being blessed with the gifts of the earth.
Right, so but like how the translations reading it is like in the eventuality, days where you're going to be dwelling away from man. So it won't be in the rulership position at all or forever, because Jacob is the one who got the blessing. Right, how the transitions and them things.
Or because earlier in it you would have seen
that verse before, when you read the AMP for 37. In verse 37 in the AMP it says,
I haven't seen any NLT too, but go ahead. Sorry, NIV, sorry. Go ahead.
Genesis 27 and 37. But Isaac replied to Esau, listen carefully. I have made Jacob your Lord and Master. I have given him all his brothers and relatives as servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. What then can I do for you, my son? I'm going to read it in the CEB. Isaac replied to Esau, I have already made him more powerful than you. And I have made all his brothers his servants. I have made him strong with grain and wine. What can I do for you, my son? So
grain and wine resources.
Yeah. So based on that, that is why it's reading
in verse 41.
Yeah,
40.
These different translations making it look as though that Esau would never have these things. Right, but you have to go away from these things if this is Jacob's law.
You have to think about the book of Job chapter 30.
Yeah. Job 30.
He was chased from among men. And that's going to end up being his lot anyway. All the nations is going to chase him away.
Because like how we read here, do like Isaac prophesied that that's what's going to happen then.
Can. Because again, ultimately, Isaac is prophesying here.
That's how we read here.
Yeah. There's Genesis 27 and 37 in the NIV Bible. Isaac answered Esau, I have made him Lord over you, and I've made all his relatives his servants. And I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son? That's the thing I did. I continue in the blessing of Shem, because when Noah blessed Shem, what Noah said to Shem? Sorry, when Noah said to Ham, a servant and a servant of servants shall he be. Right. So what the Hamite serving the Japhites, and the Japhites serving the Shemites. Right. So what ultimately the ultimate master from his Shemite bloodline would have either been passed to Jacob or Esau, and what he gave it to Jacob. Exactly. So again, what can I possibly do? It's as though Esau's blessing that he's getting, even though he's being blessed to rule the whole earth, it pales in comparison to the blessing of Jacob, right? Which is again the heading here for this chapter. The end of the wicked contrasted with that of the end of the righteous, right? The word here, I just wanted to go into it real quick. Fatness.
Fatness in Genesis 27 and 29.
Anyone, I believe Jacob was given the fatness as well, but read it with Esau.
Genesis 27 and 29. The Hebrew word for fatness here is mashaman, right? Age 4,924. Fatness, fat piece, fertile place, richly prepared food,
Right.
fatness, fat pieces, oil, olive oil, fatness, stout, vigorous, fertile spots or places.
Like the earth, right? You've been blessed with the dominion over the resources of the earth. I think when you read that same, I just vex around on white right now. I believe it's in the NLT, I bring it out. When you read it in the NLT, it makes mention of them as fat cats, right? When you think of a fat cat versus a lean cat, you see the fat cat, one is well fed. Like you may liken them onto being fat cats. Not to say there's fat sloppy people, but to say what they have everything in terms of sustenance. Right? They lack nothing that the earth could provide for a man. Think about Garfield. Yeah, he always feeding him here like food. Sirach 39. Principal uses of the things of man's life. All of those things, if you've been blessed with the fatness of the earth, you've been blessed to have that. Right? If you could also go into that fatness in the same Psalm 73 verse 7.
Psalm 73 and verse 7. It says, is at the front, strong sound.
Yeah, but go ahead with it. Reading it in the forget what it's called, it's concordance. Yeah, the concordance footnotes, right? Yeah, the reference table. There's Psalm 73 7, right? Where they have the note here which stand out with fatness is that the bulge with abundance. Right? Go ahead.
It's age 2459, the one before was age 4924. It says Chalab, right? Fat of humans, of beasts, choicest, best parts, abundance of products of the land.
Right, so what they have, the resources of the earth at their disposal and in their control.
That's
right?
why when I go into the fatness in Genesis, the 27th chapter, it says oil, because that is one of the best resources in the earth. But there's usually oil in the earth to accomplish every enterprise, whether it be to fuel weapons of mass destruction, transport this or transport that, we use the oil.
Yeah, the oil is an essential product in the creation and distribution of all of the earth's resources. Right? So it's central to it. So to have control over oil is to say I have control over the world.
That is why they want Asher land, because the scripture says what? Shall dip his foot in oil.
Asher foot shall be dipped in oil. Can. So if we can go now, Psalm 73.
The book of Psalms, chapter 73. The book of Psalms, chapter 73, and verse 8.
Right?
They are corrupt.
They are the most corrupt people in the earth. Most wicked people in the earth today. Go ahead.
And speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Right?
They speak loftily.
And speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Again, according to the book of Proverbs, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Right? They speak lightly of the afflictions that we have to go through at the hands of them in this world. I can't remember who said it, but the transatlantic slave trade was not the greatest tragedy that the world ever saw. Like they say it had something worse than that, and they make mention of the Holocaust. What? Oh, sorry, yeah, like it doesn't come out of my mouth, but they say the Holocaust was worse than slavery, which the question after that is how? Right? What them went through that was worse than what we went through.
Because they say the name of the French the Belgian thing was Leopold. King Leopold killed more so-called Africans, which he was Israelites.
Yeah.
He killed more Israelites in the lifespan than the Holocaust did.
Because only kill about what 6 million who's right. But what Leopold kill what 100 million plus. We didn't marry figures.
Watch out,
Like
look how
what
much
telling me could be more.
Look how much men was put to death at the hands of these men in Revelation 6. Right? There was given unto him a great sword that he should take peace from the earth.
Right? So again, speaking loftily, speaking jokingly about the things we had to go through as though the afflictions we went through in this life was light. If somebody could give me Zechariah 11 and verse 4, Baba Kasha. Somebody hold Ezekiel 28.
This is the book of Zechariah chapter 4.
It's 11 and 4 for
11 4. This is the book of Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 4. Let's say it. YAHAWASHI shine my power.
Yeah.
Feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty.
Again, scriptures make mention of we die all the day long, right? We are led as a sheep to the slaughter, right? And whose possessors, who currently is we slave masters.
In Mike, the 3rd chapter and verse 2, I believe it is, or the 2nd chapter and verse 2.
Right.
The oppressor man and his
Micah 2, right? The oppressor man and his heritage, right? Oppressing a man, have him in bondage. Again, that Ecclesiastes 10:7 again. His servants upon horseback and princes walking as servants in the earth. The ones who currently possess us slay us, right? Go ahead.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
And they say they are not guilty. Look at that here and
right? And they that sell them say, best be YAHAWASHI, for I'm rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Right? T.D. Jakes don't give a fuck. None the Christian, the pastors don't give a fuck. Nobody don't give a fuck. Bishop Nathaniel don't give a fuck. Nobody give a fuck about what the fuck we are to go through in this life. Nobody. Right? And again, they speak loftily concerning this. They say they are not guilty. Right? Here's Zechariah 11 and verse 5 in the NIV. Their buyers slaughter them and go unpunished. Those who sell them say, praise Yahweh, I am rich. Because again, slavery or slaves is a commodity in the world. That is a form of riches. That have meant serve. Go ahead.
When they go to Revelation 18 chapter, and there's this, you know, the things was made rich with Babylon.
Yeah, you know they made rich, right?
One of the things that were listed off was
slaves.
Slaves.
Yeah, one of the greatest products they could have. Right? Their own shepherds do not spare them. Right? So again, they speak loftily concerning the things that we have to go through in this life that they themselves by their own hands put us through. Right? And again, they understand the scriptures. They know a large reason or part of the reason why it is they even able to do this is because we pissed off our God. Right? We pissed off our power. So now what we as payment or as retribution from the Most High, they get to persecute us. Right? So they know this. That is why they're able to speak loftily of it again. Like Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, those sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore it is set in the hearts of the sons of men to do wickedly. Right? They're not relenting. Right? And they're making fun and scoffing at you. If you could give me Ezekiel 28. Yeah, you could give me from one.
Ezekiel 28 from verse 1. It says, the word of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus says the Lord power.
Which is the Edomite man today, right? Spiritually, prophetically. Right?
Because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of power, in the midst of the seas,
right?
In the midst of the people.
Right, as Revelation 17, and the seas which thou sawest are peoples, multitudes, kindreds, and tongues. Right, right. So they're in the midst of the people, they're over the people, right?
Yet thou art a man, and not power, though thou set thine heart as the heart of power.
Right.
Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Right.
Because what you get any information directly from Satan. Satan know there's what you have to do to accomplish your enterprise, do this and do that.
Yeah, again, reading that Isaiah 14, reading that Isaiah chapter 14, these people made reference to or made mention of as Lucifer. Right? The enlightened ones, the enlightened world, they're enlightened with the knowledge of wickedness. But if you go to Isaiah 41, Isaiah 47, it makes mention of them as being if I could just remember them words. Monthly prognosticators, astrologers, stargazers, which were divinators, right? The words for scientists today, right? Go ahead. So again, because those people were knowledgeable people back in their time, right? Again, which is the Chaldeans, wise men of Babylon, right? So like how the Chaldeans today, if the Babylonians was ruling today, the Chaldeans would be like the scientists. That is who these people are today, right? The Timonites, Germans. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 4, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches,
right,
and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures.
And again, the people of YAHAWASHI were made mention of and made reference of as what? Gold and silver coins. Right, again, I'll try the as gold is tried, and I'll refine the as silver is refined. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Even Surah 2, I believe it's Surah 10, make mention of like gold in the fire. Had he tried them and found them acceptable for himself? Surah 2. Surah 2, right? So again, what the gold and silver coins prophetically, right? If you're looking at it through that kind of heights, could be speaking of the Lord's people as well, right? Go ahead.
Verse 5. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic.
And who did they traffic? They trafficked slaves. Think human trafficking, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Who were the people that benefited the most from that? The slave masters, right? Go ahead.
And by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right, so now, could go back to the Psalm 73, right? Go ahead.
In Psalm 73 and verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
Right, because again, they benefit from the oppression. Go ahead.
Verse 9, they set their mouth against the heavens,
right,
and their tongue walketh through the earth.
And where's one of the ways they set their mouth against the heavens? Again, as we went into the Ezekiel, it makes mention of these people setting their heart as the heart of the Most High, right? They think themselves to be the God in the earth, right? If somebody could give me a second.
Next verse.
Verse 6? Give me it now. Give me it. After you get that, give me 2 Thessalonians. There's a man in the earth today who currently has a God complex. He thinks himself to be God. Firstly, I'd always like to say, they don't believe God is real. But if God is real, he has to be with us, right? And he equipped us. The Most High had favored our enterprise with success, right? And I believe like Psalm 50, thou taughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will set them in order, I will reprove them. Right? These people don't believe God is real, but if he's real, he has to be our God. He has to be in favor of us because we prosper. And here today again, scriptures make mention of they suppose that gain is godliness, right? And then if there is a God, we is that God.
Rick?
Yeah, how he does, he have a God complex.
Oh, he's not literally saying that. I think it's the episode when they're saying the kind of slime ball kind of things when they take out all the bad parts of themselves. What the bad part are Rick's.
Yes, with Rick Ego, that was representative of Rick Ego. You had to give me that episode. We go watch
now.
You
know what we talking about.
You know,
I can't remember.
Right.
What Rick said, he was granting and babbling on, and then Morty say something about God, and because like, God, if there's a God, it's fucking me.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. He died, you know.
That's when they take out all the toxins.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah. So yeah. Rick is a perfect representation of the Edomite man today. Very wise, very wicked, have everything he could want, and he don't believe there's a God. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore said, Ezekiel 28 and 6. Therefore thus says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of power.
Right, so what in your mind you think you are the Most High? Go ahead.
Yeah, even the book of Isaiah, I think it's 47, but the Lord seems to show him that he was his flesh but not spirit.
I think I joined that to the one.
Not 61, but whichever one it is,
Right.
he believes he horses and all the things he has, he could use that to fight against the Most High when he returns.
Right, yeah. To believe you could fight the Most High, you would have to think yourself to be a God or a better God than God. Right, right.
It's on 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse
4. Is it
read
3?
from 3.
Yeah, you could read from verse 3.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Right. And what was one of the great deceptions? Again, you know that saying in the world these people have, which is the greatest trick that Satan ever played on mankind, was to make people believe that he didn't exist. Right? And it have people, when you go down in this chapter, whose coming is after the working of Satan. Right? So one of the great deceptions these people play is to make people believe that they don't exist. Right? And again, they were not able to do this until the falling away happened, which was what? 70 AD, the siege of 70 AD. Right? Because before that, the Israelites knew who the Edomites was. Think John 11:48, right? If we let this man thus alone, then the Romans will come and take our both our place and our dominion and nation. This one. Kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violence taken by force. That's what God and also Acts chapter 1. Right, the disciples was asking YAHAWASHI, will thou at this time restore the kingdom to Jerusalem? Which is, when you're going to the kingdom in the Hebrew, that is the Malakwat, which is what? The kingly authority or the kingly dominion. Will you give us rulership back? Because again, they didn't have it. But if they didn't have it, who had it? It was the Romans, right? The Edomites, and they knew, they were well aware at that time. But what? After the falling away came, right, and we lost the knowledge that we were the Israelites, then what? Now he was able to hide himself and deceive the world. Go ahead.
There are 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Right.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
Right.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Right, son of destruction. Right, he both destroys and goes into destruction. Right.
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called power.
And who's called power? Yahweh is called power. YAHAWASHI is called power. The angels are called power. The nation of Israel is called power. By those four entities we just listed there are all gods. Right, go ahead.
Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called power.
To what end?
Or that is worship.
Right.
So that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is power.
Showing himself that he is God, the pride of this man. Right? If you could give me now, let's know. If you could give me now the book of Daniel 7 and 25, because again we had established that they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. How do they do this? The policies. Right? If you could give me a thing I am. Daniel 8, they shall cause craft. Yeah. Through their draconian measures and the laws they established in the world, they set themselves against the Most High, because again they don't agree with the laws of the Most High, and they don't agree with nothing that the Most High does stand for. Perfect example, the kingdom they're ruling out in the earth today, by and large America, everything they do is against the will of the Most High. Again, Revelation 11 from verses 8 to 11, there's a place spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and we know the Most High against that kind of folly. Think what he did originally to Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Peter said what? He set that place as an ensample for all that should live here after ungodly. If you live in the manner of those people, your judgment is fire. But what these people make laws to allow that kind of folly. Right? They set their tongue against the heavens. Again, even against the heavens. We know the commandments was divinely inspired and given to Moses to give to the nation of Israel. When you read the book of Acts, chapter 7, it goes into how Moses would have received the law, statutes, and commandments from the angel in the mount, right? In the Mount Sinai, you know that angel was YAHAWASHI, right? Where did those laws and those ways come from?
They say Ram was made in the fashion and likeness of heaven.
Right,
Hebrews 8 does that.
yeah, not just that.
Hebrews 6 tell you get them laws and directly from the heaven.
But in that was giving it Matthew 6, let thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven, right? And again, the scriptures make mention of there's a prophecy, Yahweh shall magnify the law and make it honorable. If the nation of Israel rules in the earth, the law goes forth from Zion. Right? So we understand what is the will of the Most High is for everybody to live according to these laws. But these people make laws against the Most High and against his ways. Right? Go ahead.
You think about first Maccabees, the first chapter as well. For the getting of the laws.
Can. Right? And they change the ordinances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what they say, the Jews went and consented unto his religion, right, unto his ways, unto his philosophies. Who is that man?
It's a wicked man from Judah.
Right, yeah, they went there with wicked men from Israel. So what, showing you what, who's that man that has to be speaking about the Edomite man today? He's doing it all over again. Right, go ahead.
This is Daniel 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Again, right.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Through what means?
And think to change times and laws.
Right, the times and the laws set by the Most High. Whose times and whose laws? Yahweh's times and laws. Go ahead.
And they shall be given into his hand.
And the power to do this shall be given into his hand.
Until a time and times and the dividing of time.
For a period of time, right?
You can think about Satan as well. Satan had the ability to give Yahawashi the earth.
Right.
Well, I mean, Matthew the 4th chapter, he said, well, if you bow down to me, all the kingdoms of the earth shall be yours.
Right.
But what Satan ended up doing is that he gave that over unto the Edomite man for what? A period of time.
Right, yeah. Again, scriptures make mention of Satan working in the children of disobedience. And who is the children of disobedience? Again, Psalm 50 from verse 16 going down is Esau and Edom. Right, unto the wicked he said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, so that thou shouldest take thy covenant in my take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction. We know the MO of these people, they definitely hate the laws of the Most High. Right? So if you was to put these people in power, they would make laws and legislations that would be against the ways of the Most High. Who's doing that today? The so-called YT man, these rich banking elite. Go ahead.
Daniel 8 and 25.
Right.
It says, and through his shrewdness,
No, go ahead.
sorry, are you listening to the AMP? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think I have to
No. Pull the same piece of going to that word craft.
Is Daniel 8 and 25 in the KJV. And through his policy,
right,
also you shall cause craft to prosper.
Right.
In his hand, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Exactly, right? So, and again, it's not a man's hands going to put this man out of commission. It's again the Most High. Isaiah 47, verse 3, I believe it is. And I shall not meet thee as a man. Right? Go ahead. Not again, Deuteronomy 28. You shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy thee. Why? Because it's God who bought us. Lord willing, we be bought back. Right? If you give me the craft, and if you could give me the word policy as well, Babu Kusha.
The word policy,
right,
is H7922 Sakal. Prudence, insight, understanding. Prudence, good sense, insight, understanding, cunning, craft in a bad sense.
Right. So his understanding, he's going to cause that to prosper. Go ahead.
This is policy. Policy, it's policy. You know, when things select, it's craft. This is craft in Daniel 8 and 25. H 4820. Marama. BDB definition 1. Deceit, treachery.
The deceitful and treacherous man. He shall cause deceit and treachery to rule. Go ahead.
Strong's definition from H7411 in a sense of deceiving, fraud, craft, deceitful or deceitfully, false frame, guile, subtlety, treachery.
Exactly. So again, through his laws and legislation, he causes treachery to prosper. Right?
Because what? The scripture say what? The serpent was more subtle than every creature, every piece of the field.
Right, which that serpent was a man. Right, go ahead.
Now he's the Strong's H7411, Rama.
meaning from my definition too, to beguile, deceive, mislead, deal treacherous. Exactly, right? So he shall cause all these ways to prosper in the earth through his laws and legislation, which is against the divine will of the Most High in heaven. Right? So somebody can give me verse 10, I believe we reach now. It's on Psalm 73 and 10. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. Right? It just now is speaking of his judgment. Right? Again, if somebody could give me Isaiah 51 and from verse 22, and if you could give me Psalm 75 and verse 8. Right? In fact, I'll get the Psalm 75 verse 8 if you could give me Jeremiah 49 12.
I read Jeremiah 49. And the Isaiah.
Yeah.
Isaiah 51 and 22. This
In
says,
fact, Salakia, let me read this Psalm 75 first. There's Psalm 75 and verse 8. For in the hand of Yahweh there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poured out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. Which what our cup is a similitude for judgment, right? In the hand or in the power of the Most High is judgment, and what he's telling these wicked people of the earth today, that they must partake in the judgment that he's getting ready to send on the earth for all the wicked deeds that they have done. Right? Go ahead. There's Jeremiah 49 and verse 11. 7, I believe it was. 7, is it? Yeah. No, 12. Yeah, well, read from 11. Yeah, read from 11. I'll read from 10. There's Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I've made his so bare, I've uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Right, so Esau is not hiding himself no more. We know he's the rich banking elite of the world today. He's the wicked of the wicked. Right, go ahead. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Right, shall no more exist. Leave thy fatherless children. Exactly, he will no more exist. Right, he's going to be wiped out. Go ahead. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. Yeah. Verse 12. For thus saith Yahweh Shem Yoshai, behold, those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup. Which is what? Those whose judgment was not to partake in my judgment, the Israelites, because what the Most High never intended for us to go through all of this shit. Right? Go ahead. Never surely drunken. Right? And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? And the answer is no. Right? Go ahead. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Ye shall partake of the judgment as well. You have to. Right? Go ahead. Yeah. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh Shem Yoshai, that Bozrah shall become a desolation. Ooh, America. Right? The country in which the Edomites rule out of today. Right? Go ahead. The way the nation in which they use to push their philosophy throughout the earth. Right? Go ahead. That Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetually waste. Right, yep. Go ahead.
Isaiah 51 and 22. Thus says Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord and thy power, that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
Exactly so. You're right.
But I will put it in the hand of them that afflict thee.
And who's the ones that afflict us? Like Amos 1 and 11, right? And I believe that the same precept was said, and he kept his word forever. Give me that.
Okay.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. And the transgression was what shall afflict the nation of Israel. Zechariah 2 and 8, I believe it is, or Zephaniah 2 and 8. He that touched the apple of his eye. So we know it's a sin to move against the people of the Most High. You're directly sinning against the Most High, right? You're pissing them off. You're transgressing. You're trespassing. Go ahead. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and they cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. Right, so it's like he couldn't stop, right?
And he kept his wrath forever.
And he kept his wrath forever. Yeah.
But I will send a fire upon Timon, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah.
As a result of the wickedness that you have done, you must now partake in the cup of judgment of the Most High. Right? And you shall drink every last bit of it. Right? Go ahead.
Isaiah 51 and 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee,
Right.
which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over.
Right, so again, slavery, as a result of the slavery that they put us through, using us like doormats, literally, you could look up, we used to use slaves like doormats, right? They shall partake in the judgment of the Most High. He's going to offer them it in a cup, and it's not, and they have no choice but to drink of it, right? If you give me now verse 11.
Psalm 73 and 11, and they say, how do a power know? And it's a knowledge in YAHAWASHI, the Most High.
Exactly. These people are asking, well, how is the Most High aware of the things that we are doing in the earth today? Right? He don't know nothing. But that's impossible again. This kingdom is too sinful and too wicked for the Most High to not be aware of these things. If somebody could give us Amos 9 and 8, and if you could give well, you know what? Bring it. But after I get Isaiah 47 as well.
Amos 9 and verse 8. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai power, are upon the sinful kingdom.
Again, so what? The eyes of the Most High, we know are the angels. Read, I believe, is Revelation 5. It makes mention of these eyes, these spirits are the eyes that go forth throughout the earth. Revelation 1. Right, so what? We know the eyes of the Most High are the angels, right? And they beholding and seeing what is it doing, right? They are fully aware of what's going on in the earth today, right? Oh, that is 2 Ezra 16, what will you do? Yeah, bring that, right?
2 Ezra 16 and 66.
Because again, the angels are always watching, right? Go ahead.
And the New English Bible, and here in its prophecies of doom.
Right.
It says, how can you hide your sins from power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and his angels?
Right, exactly. Right, go ahead. If you could read that in the straight KJV as well, what will you do? How will you hide your sins?
It's 2 Ezra 16 and 66 in the KJV. What will he do?
Yeah, this one. You could read verse 64. Go on.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 64. Therefore had the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai exactly searched out all of your works, and he will put you all to shame.
Exactly. As the brother resolves that piece, I think so that diligent inquisition, and also that Solomon, wisdom and Solomon, right? Diligent inquisition shall be made into the house of the wicked. Right? How is that being done? Through the prophets. Right? Again, enter into the gates of the nobles. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 65, and when your sins are brought forth, and ye shall all be ashamed before men.
And it is being brought forth, Revelation, I believe it's 6 or Revelation 5. How long, O Yahweh, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood that has been shed upon them that dwell on the face of the earth? Right? So if we not saying nothing, the angels ain't saying nothing, the dead prophets talking. There's no gain out of this. The Most High is fully aware of all the wicked and evil things that we have done upon the face of the earth. So how could you then ask, how does power know?
I could even think about the time of Genesis. Cain was wondering how the Lord will kill Abel.
Yeah.
Just say what? His blood cried unto me from the earth.
So the earth as well is a witness to you all. If the sun and the moon could talk, and if you was to ask the sun and the moon today, and they had a mouth to speak, hey, who's the wicked in the earth and who's this book speaking about? When we go into these topics, they're gonna them fellas. Yeah, the banking elite. Them is the ones. So everybody know. The whole, again, Romans 8 say what the whole creation doing it. So with the manifestation of the sons of power. Go ahead.
And your own sins shall be accusers in that day. The scripture says, the tongue shall tell upon them.
Yeah, he shall cause their tongue to fall upon themselves. Right, right.
Verse 66, what will he do? Or how will you hide your sins before power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and his angels?
Right, because they can't hide from them. Right, the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. If you could give me Isaiah 47, and then we go to verse 12 and we close.
Isaiah 47.
And I could read, I believe it's from verse 10. Who see it us? Or who not verse 10. I think that higher up.
Verse 10.
Verse 10? Yeah. I think it get another translation as well too.
Isaiah, you read the KJV translation.
47.
It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
Again, you know this has to be speaking of his son, the border of wickedness.
Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Right, so none seeth me and nobody is aware of the things that I am doing, and again I still have a God complex about it. I am and there's none else beside me, but who we know made that statement before? It was Yahweh himself. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 39. Right? There is no God beside me. I kill, I make alive, I wound and I heal. So what they are making proclamations as though they are the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Alright, so just like how you think everybody in the world oblivious to your wickedness and to your deeds, and you think the Most High himself is not aware of what you're doing, when your judgment comes, you yourself won't be aware. Right? It's going to come and surprise you. Scripture says, shall come like a thief in the night. A thief in the night. You don't know that a thief coming. That is how it is able to spoil the house. Right? Go ahead.
And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Exactly, you're not aware, right? Read it in translation. Right?
Isaiah 47 and 10 in the AMP. For you, Babylon, have trusted and felt confident in your wickedness. You have said, no one sees me.
Not even the Most High. Yeah.
Your wisdom and your knowledge have led you astray. And you have said in your heart, mind, I am, and there's no one besides me.
Exactly. Now if you could go to verse 12.
Psalm 73 and then verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches.
Right? Again, if you could give me Job 9 and 24. Right? How is it that they're able to prosper? The control over the face of the earth had been given to them. Right? If you could sit on, yeah, the right of that.
In Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
And where and who is he? That is speaking about what these rich banking elite families today, right? The earth was given into their control, right? Go ahead. Yeah, Matthew 40. And if you could hold Habakkuk 2 from 4.
In the book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse 8, again the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
And we know obviously Esau would have had to make that deal with the devil, as he could not rule the earth, right? Because the means through which he is ruling the earth is a satanic kingdom. It is completely averse to the Most High. Go ahead.
Because the next thing I realize too, that's how you know Esau is a fool. Because how he believe, or what in his mind believes that Satan, what would Satan have to have put in his mind to make him believe that he's not reporting this back to the Most High?
Proud man. A proud man. If you read Job 1, Job 2, you know that it's impossible that Satan will not be giving these reports. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Then Yahweh shall say unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shall thou serve.
Right, but again, Esau doesn't think that Yahweh is his power, but he will find out soon. Right, if you could give me Habakkuk 2.
Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yes, so no matter how high you could attain in your mind in this world and how far your mind can go in this world, to think that there is a God, you're still not upright. Right? Yet in the land of uprightness you will still deal unjustly. Yeah, go ahead.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Right, verse 5.
Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine.
Right, through his philosophies again, we went into it in the Daniel 7 and Daniel 8, right? These people's philosophies are complete transgressions to the ways of the Most High, right?
He is a proud man, neither keepeth he at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth him unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Exactly. So the lust and thirst of this man to have the resources of the earth and to have everybody under his control and dominion knows no bounds, right? To the point of even in death right now. Right. But I think in that same Habakkuk 2, laid it himself with thick clay, right? Where that goes into death. Like these, and especially hitting the point of these banking families, everybody in the world owing them. Look up the international debt clock, and I can't remember what information you could put in, but you yourself could put in information about your own self and figure out that you owing these people. How is that? Yeah, everybody in the world owing them. Every single person in the earth have money for them. How is that? Because they are the wicked that prosper in the world today. There's Psalm 73:12 again. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Right? When you go into that prosper in the world here, in the again concordance, right? The footnote they have here is are always at ease. Right? These are the ungodly who are always at ease in the world today. They increase in riches. But what? Those riches themselves will testify against you in the day of judgment, and ye will be found guilty. If somebody can give me that James 5, I mean close it out from verse 1, read till verse 3. And if you can give me it in a translation.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5.
So,
Is it 2? Sorry, 5 and 1.
5 and 1.
The book of James, chapter 5, from verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for miseries that shall come upon you.
Right?
Your
Again,
riches,
again, the judgment is going to come upon you, and one day thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Right? Go ahead.
your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Right? Again, it's through corruption, craft, right? Treachery, slavery that they have increased in riches, all at the expense of the people, the children of the Most High. Again, Asaph making his lamentation here. Right?
Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Right?
You have heaped treasures together for the last days.
Right, so even the fact that you all are the rich in the world today, and how scripture said you all would attain these riches, Yahawashi, when he returns, is going to see all the people who have all the dust in the earth, because again scriptures make mention of the holy gold is mine, the silver is mine. When Yahawashi comes to claim back the gold, the silver, and all the resources that belong to the Most High and the people of the Most High, whose hand is it going to be found in? It shall be testament against you and witness against you that what you obtain these riches unjustly. If you could read it in a translation.
Psalms 5 and 1. James 5 and 1 in the AMP. The misuse of riches, as he heading.
Right.
Come quickly now, you rich, who lack true faith and hoard and misuse your resources. Weep and howl over the miseries, the woes, the judgments that are coming upon you. Your wealth has rotted and is ruined, and your fine clothes have become moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and will consume your flesh like fire. You have stored up your treasures in the last days, when it will do you no good.
Exactly, riches profit not in the day of wrath. Right? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, and that you all were edified. In closing, like to say, Kal Halalim La Yahawa, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakha Kodash, giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who surely do rule well. As always, we like to say Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.